my name is Carlos and I'm from Venezuela. The reason why I created this YouTube channel is because I would like to provide useful information regarding effective treatments that other people suffering from ME/CFS could utilize to make their symptoms more bearable. I also created this channel because I would like to use it as a platform for me to seek out international support with some of the vitamins that I have to take on the daily basis. So even though I've been through all these effective therapy sessions or treatments for the past 10 months or so, I still need to take around 10 different kinds of vitamins every single morning, just so that I can function properly and so that I can feel like a normal human being, so to speak. So the thing about these vitamins is that they are amino acids that come in imported products, and imported products are kind of quite expensive in my home country. So purchasing these products online and having them shipped from other parts of the world to Venezuela, it gets pretty expensive if you have to do it over and over and over again. So what I'm hoping is, to maybe find someone out there that would be willing to offer me a helping hand with this. Okay, so with that said, I would like to use this video to explain or to tell my story on how it was that I got ME/CFS in the first place. So in November of 2014, I accompanied my mother to an acupuncturist. She believes in this kind of stuff, so we went there. And this acupuncturist is an old man from Thailand who happens to live here in Venezuela. He also works with his wife, also an old lady. And I was in the waiting room while my mom was in their office, and all of a sudden the old lady came out, and she came out to the waiting room and she said to me, you too. So she seemed nice, she seemed harmless, and so I accepted the invitation. So they proceeded to apply acupuncture on me. They also put different patches with some type of menthol on them on different areas or different parts of my body. And they also told me not to remove these patches for a couple of days. So I basically needed to wait a couple of days before removing them. So I followed their instructions, okay, because I didn't really think much of it. I always thought that acupuncture was sort of like a relaxation therapy type of deal, kind of like what you see in the movies when people go to spas, to treat themselves with a nice and relaxing therapy type of deal. So that's what I thought acupuncture was, okay? But little did I know, after I removed the patches that they put on me, I found out that I had become sexually impotent, okay? So basically, no matter how much visual stimulation I would get, it still wouldn't work on me. So erotic films, etc., nothing would work on me. So I I was desperate to find a solution for these newly found symptoms that I was experiencing. And I decided to in January of 2015, because keep in mind this first acupuncturist was in November of 2014, and in January of 2015 I decided to go on this journey to look for other acupuncturists. Because my logic at the time, I was so desperate that my logic at the time was that, okay, maybe if I found another acupuncturist, that maybe that person would know what to do, and would somehow be able to reverse whatever the first acupuncturist did to me. So I went there. I went to see this new person, and after the sessions that I had with the new acupuncturist, I basically lost all of my physical strength. Okay, so I basically couldn't lift or couldn't carry grocery bags anymore. I couldn't like even walk for 2 blocks, two, like after I hit the 2 blocks mark, okay, I would start feeling this sensation of heaviness in my calves, in my legs, and also like a lot of muscle pain, in my chest, in my arms, in my entire back, excruciating pain in my back, okay? Like it was horrible. It was a horrible experience. And keep in mind that back in the day, like prior to all this happening to me, like I used to be able to jog 7 miles per hour, for about an hour and a half, and so like going from that to not being able to walk, for even a couple of blocks, like it was like shocking to me, okay, to say the least. So I was like, I became even more desperate, okay, to like find a solution for my problem. And I erroneously continued to believe that if I found yet another acupuncturist, that somehow this new person would somehow be able to fix whatever the previous 2 acupuncturists had done to me. So I had heard about this lady who was supposedly like brilliant on this field, and I went to see her, and she even showed me like a certificate with that said kind of like as a proof that like she had been to China and that she had studied acupuncture over there and whatnot. So she was an actual physician. She was an actual doctor, but she specialized in acupuncture. So I pretty much put all of my trust in her. Basically. And she also gave me this theory that like the nerves from the brain are like connected to the nerves from the feet and blah blah blah. So she proceeded to insert a bunch of needles all over my head, okay, and and like in addition to the ones to the needles that usually go around the body or all over the body, she proceeded to insert needle to put like she put like around probably 10 needles only on my head, and she also punctured my cervical area as well as my throat. So after the acupuncture sessions I had with this lady, I basically started to stutter, I was stuttering like really bad, okay? Like I couldn't really begin to like talk. It was like say I want to go to the beach. Like say I wanted to say like the phrase or the sentence, I want to go to the beach. I would be like like I would be stuck in that first syllable or first word for like a minute before like an entire minute before I could actually like say the phrase or the sentence. It was like horrible. I also started finding it really hard to read into like count items and do math operations. I just couldn't do that. And like especially like reading, it was horrible because I could only read letters, okay? Like I could only, like for instance, the word house, I could only read House. Like I couldn't read like the entire word house, So, that actually hit me. I think that was like the very thing that hit me the most emotionally, because like in the past I used to be able, like I was fortunate enough to study in the US, and I used to be able to read fast, even in English, okay? And because I studied there at a university level, so I used to be able to read, okay, in English. And the fact that I couldn't read anymore, like that really affected me emotionally. And so yeah, that happened. So no, not only that, okay, but I also became like the king of the king of the clumsy, okay. So basically I would bump into door frames, walls, street signs, and like even sorry, even when I went to like the stores to like buy things, to purchase things, items or whatever, like every time I would go to like the, you know, I would be like at the register, or you know, like you know, paying for things, to like pay for things, I would like have to take out my wallet and like open it up and and ask the person at the register to please take out the cash and count the bills, because I just couldn't count. I couldn't count bills, okay? I couldn't pay for things because I just couldn't count, okay? It was horrible. It was a horrible experience. And like I also, like, everything would fall off my hands, okay? Like I couldn't, I really didn't have like a grasp on things, you know, like an effective grasp on things. So like I couldn't manipulate things with my hands really well, so everything like would fall off, like my keys, my wallet, the bills that I was taking out of my, it was horrible, okay? Also, like I would, you know, when walking, I would have to like look down, you know, to the ground, to the floor, because like I couldn't, like you know, like if I didn't do that, I would actually, you know, I would fall, because I would bump into rocks or whatever. Like you know, I didn't have like eye-hand coordination, and I also felt like super dizzy. So like everything was like spinning, you know, like my whole world was spinning. And keep in mind, this was like for a very long period of time. This wasn't like a one-day type of deal, type of thing. This was like a chronic illness, okay? Like I was experiencing that like every single day. Like it never got better, okay? And so yeah, I was super desperate, okay? And thankfully, you know, over the past 10 months, I've been going through these therapy or sessions or treatments that have actually been effective on me. And obviously I'm not stuttering anymore, as you can tell, okay? And it's thanks to these therapy sessions that I went through. But I'm gonna talk about this on my next video, because I want to keep this video as an intro video. So I just want you to have an idea of who I am, and also I want to, you know, I just want to keep this video for like, you know, to like for people to learn about my story on of how it was that I got ME/CFS. Okay, so back to my story. I decided, so after the third acupuncturist, I decided not to go to those people ever again, okay? So like I just thought they were insane. And acupuncturists, I mean. So, you know, I started going to like conventional doctors, and so far I've actually been to, I've seen 4 different neurologists, 2 neurosurgeons, 4 psychiatrists, and 1 endocrinologist, okay? So I've been to a bunch of them, to a bunch of doctors. And I've also taken an MRI of my brain, an MRI of my spine, and I have had an EEG, which stands for electroencephalogram. I had a thyroid scan. I've also taken a bunch of different blood tests, okay? The craziest thing of it all is that every time I showed, the craziest thing it was that all the test results were pretty much like indicated that I was healthy, okay? So like regardless of the symptoms that I was experiencing, the test results would come out you know, like saying that I was healthy. Like it was to me, it was crazy. And so, you know, every time I showed my doctors you know, the test results, they just wouldn't know what to do with me. Like aside from the fact that doctors don't believe in the effects of acupuncture, because, you know, acupuncture is considered an alternative medicine, so they just don't believe in that. They just dismiss it. And you know, so, you know, doctors just go by the book. They only believe in scientific research, and they just so my doctors wouldn't know what to do with me. And that's also why I had to go to so many of them, because you know, none of them was able to give me an answer as to what it was that I had. So after a long time, and after doing a lot of research on my own, because I was forced to do it on my own, I came across all this information about this illness called ME/CFS. And you get ME/CFS through infections, through high fevers, through poisoning, among other things. And that's when I started to realize that all the, because when I saw the list of symptoms that people suffering from ME/CFS had, I pretty much checked all the boxes, like almost all the boxes. So, I started to realize, like maybe some of the needles that were used on me, they were probably infected, and they were not, sterilized properly, and that's how like my immune system like couldn't deal with that infection, and that's why it kind of like started to self-destruct. And it basically became like a chronic illness for me, because I was experiencing it like for years. Okay, like, but keep in mind, this happened to me. This started to happen in November of 2014. Okay, we are in what, like May of 2017. So like, I've been dealing with this for a very long time, and yeah. So I even confirmed this theory with the last psychiatrist that I was seeing. I told him, dude, like, I pretty much check all the boxes here, okay, for this particular illness. And he's like, yeah, you most likely have it. Because, it's kind of like a no-brainer, right? Like, if you check pretty much all the boxes for a particular illness, you probably have it. So yeah, I remember I was like a little bit relieved, well, a lot. I was actually relieved that I had finally found out what it was that I had, but at the same time I was bummed out because apparently there's no cure for this illness. Because there hasn't been any like significant research done on this illness, so doctors haven't really, or scientists or the scientific community hasn't really come up with like a cure for this. Yeah, so I think there hasn't been any research due to lack of funding, something like that, something along those lines. So yeah, hopefully someday there will be a cure for sure. But what I can tell people though, is other people suffering from ME/CFS, is that there are actually treatments out there that maybe they're not, they won't cure you like completely, but they will definitely help you ease your symptoms. Okay, so like in my case, for instance, I'm not 100% there yet. Okay, like I've had like a 70% recovery. Like even though I was able to like recover my speech, okay, I still find it hard to read or to count items or do math operations. It's not like like I'm completely like cured or anything like that. So yeah, it's like at least I can read now. Okay, I can read, but I read like like kind of like slowly. Like I don't read as fast as I used to, but I mean, I'll take whatever, right? Like after what happened to me, like I seriously, I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful for the recovery that I've had, to say the least. So yeah, if you're in, and if you're one of those people, or if you happen to be one of those people that are like hesitant of whether or not you have ME/CFS, then you can actually go to my Twitter account, where I have that this is an account that I've been using for the past year, that I to like seek out international support. And I pretty much have all of my symptoms posted on there. So, if you go there, you can actually, compare, my symptoms with yours. And maybe, that way you can actually find out whether or not you have it. I also have other Twitter accounts and other YouTube channels. But those are for, like, totally different purposes. Because I those are, like, projects that I've been working on for the past 4 years. And like, I basically, like, sing funny songs and stuff, and I have them on those channels, and But this particular channel is for a totally different purpose. This particular channel is not for clicks at all. I'm not doing this for clicks. I'm just doing it because I would like to help other people suffering from ME/CFS, and also I would like to use it as a platform for me to seek out international support in terms of the vitamins that I'm in need of. Okay, because once I run out of them, like I just, you know, like I don't function as well. Okay, like my symptoms, you know, even though my symptoms have gotten like less intense, like once I stop taking the vitamins, they just go a little bit up, like they just become you know, a little bit more intense, and I just start to, like, you know, like I find it really hard to like operate or function like, you know, like a normal person. So yeah, I would really appreciate if someone out there could, like, you know, help me out with this. But anyways, I just, you know, wanna thank you for watching this video, and please go to my next video or my other video, because I would, you know, on there I talk about tips that you can use to you know, treat your ME/CFS symptoms, and, you know, I talk about the treatments that I've been going through, which have been literally a miracle for me, because, you know, as you can tell, like I've, you know, like if you didn't know that I have ME/CFS, you wouldn't be able to tell, okay? Because I look pretty normal. And that's because I do a lot, like I take a bunch of vitamins daily every morning, and I also drink chocolate, and like I stimulate myself with a bunch of different things, and that's how, you know, I'm able to like function. But if it wasn't because of that, then, like, you know, I probably would be laying in bed, you know. And you know, it hasn't always been like smiles and happy, like sunshines and rainbows for me, but you know, I'm getting out of this black tunnel. Okay, I'm coming out of this you know, black hole. Okay, this dark tunnel, and I'm you know, I'm you know, fighting the good fight. Okay, so and if I can do it, I'm pretty sure you can as well. So please go to my next video. I really wish you the best, and take care.